The centuries-old tradition of Swan Upping, the census of the royal swan population on stretches of the River Thames, got underway on Monday. Led by David Barber, the Swan Marker to Britain's King Charles, Swan Upping involves recording details of the swans and their cygnets and then releasing them back into the water.
Well, it does feel a little bit different because after 30 years of being the Queen's Swan Marker, people ask me, and I keep saying the Queen or Her Majesty, and of course it's His Majesty. So it's a little bit confusing, but I'm getting the hang of it now.
Barber, who wears a scarlet coat and a swan feather in his hat, has been carrying out census for decades, but this was his first under a new monarch. Succeeding his mother, Queen Elizabeth, Charles inherited the country's unmarked swans in a shared ownership with old trade associations, Vintners and Dyers, who also joining in the upping.
Swan uppers, upstanding! The King! The King! The King!
As they gathered at a lock, the Swan Uppers raised a toast to the king and also performed a traditional or salute to King Charles at the end of their first day of upping. Teams in old-fashioned skiffs spent 5 days rowing up a stretch of the river, shouting all up when they come across a mute swan and its family of young cygnets, traveling a total of some 79 miles or 127 kilometers. They count all the adult swans and tag and monitor the health of cygnets by weighing them and checking in their mouths.
Not quite as good as usual. We're a little bit less on cygnets this year than last year, but we expected that because of the bird flu scenario that we've had in the winter and in the springtime. And we did lose quite a few nests where we had floodwater. And of course the King is very keen on conservation, wildlife, and of course we have a lot of school children this week, masses of them, coming down to the river to listen us to speak about swans, the boats we use, the river, and they get very excited when we show them young cygnets at very close quarters.
The annual census dates back to the 12th century when the English crown first claimed ownership of all mute swans, which have long curved necks, orange beaks and white feathers, and were then considered a delicacy that would be served at banquets.